So recently I was on Instagram and I saw this beautiful skirt, my dear fashionistas. And also one of our fellow fashionista here on this channel requested for a tutorial of such a beautiful six pieces skirt. It can look like this with a godet or even like this. And guys, welcome back and let's start the video. So I've already cut one of the pieces. Remember, this is a six pieces cut. We need six pieces and I've already cut one of them. So it is a max cut, long as you see. And on top here, guys, I'm going to start by marking off the sewing allowance, the joining allowance, because this skirt is going to have a waistband. So I'll be attaching a waistband of about 1.5 inches and placing this 1.5 inches, putting in mind that I have a waistband, I'm placing it at the line that I've marked, which is the waistline, and then I take off the rest of the length. The entire skirt will be 40 inches after all this sewing, so you have to add hemming allowance, joining allowance, and everything. So guys, usually you know that we divide by 4, and today, since this is a 6 pieces skirt, we're going to be dividing by 6. But since this piece, as you see, it is on fold, as you see, instead of dividing by 6, I'm going to be dividing by 12. Remember, so dividing the waist measurement of 30 inches by 12, I'll get about 2.5, guys. So that 2.5, I'm going to mark it on top here, and I'll add sewing allowance of 1 inch. And after that, also I'll go to the hip measurement, which is 40 inches. Dividing it by 12, I get about 3.3 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, I get 4.3. So I'll just round off that by 4.5. I'll round it off to 4.5 at the hip line. So guys, for the hemline, I'm going to just multiply the 4.5 times 2 and I'll get 9 inches here at the hemline. So my entire piece is folded by the largest measurement, which is 9 inches plus 1 inch, which is 10 inches. So on fold, this piece is 10 inches. So that is how I cut out this piece. So now going back on top here, I'm putting 1.5 at the waistline, the 1.5 of the waistband, and I'm going down to the 8-inch mark to mark the hip line. I also continue to the 18-inch mark for the knee line, not exactly like the knee line. I went up by about 1 inch. The knee line was at 19 inches. I went up by 1 inch so that the person can be able to move while putting on this skirt. So guys, remember, we are dividing by 12. So it's like how we need 2 pieces for back and front, and then we are dividing everything by 4. I think you get it there. So here, remember, we divided 30 inches, the waist measurement, by 12. You get 2.5, and I decided to add, you can add half an inch as the joining allowance. You can add a full 1 inch. You can add 3/4 of an inch. Don't add too much because you'll just have some too much excess after all this sewing. So after that, I also divide the 40 inches, which is the hip measurement, by 12. I get 3.3, but I rounded it off to 3.5 plus 1 inch as joining allowance or sewing allowance, and I mark at 4.5. So now I'll join those 2 points like that. So whatever I have here at the hip line, which is 4.5, I'm just going to reduce it by half inch. You can even reduce it by 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then mark it at the knee line. So I'm marking 4 inches at the knee line, but if you want, you can move in deeper. So after I I again, as I told you before, multiply the measurement that I have at the hip line, which is 4.5 by 2, and I get 9. Then I add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then after that I connect the points. So you can either multiply the measurement at the hip line to mark it at the hemline by 2 or by 3 to have that mermaid effect. So after there I just join my points like this to form the shape of a six pieces skirt with a mermaid effect, as you see. So guys, if you want some more drama or some more nice effect, you can add a godette. So you have to consider that if that's what you want, as you saw earlier in the picture. So this is what I have after cutting it out. Beautiful. So this is one of the 6 pieces cut. We need 5 more pieces. I'm going to just use this to cut out the front side pieces, the back side pieces, and the back middle piece where the zipper will be. So here we are again, and I've folded this piece by 2. As you see, I folded it into 2, and here I'm cutting my front side pieces. So I'm placing the already cut middle front piece, and then I cut out the 2 side pieces for the front, and I'm also going to use the same to cut out the back side pieces and also the back middle piece. So you see, you just place them right sides facing each other like this, and sew by 1/2 inch or whatever seam allowance you made. And if you want to add some lining, please do. I didn't use lining just because of, it was kind of a simple tutorial. So you can also label them so that you don't mix them up, and that is it. And if you don't want your zipper to be at the back, you can consider putting it at the side. So guys, these are the back side pieces. Also, I've cut them out. You see they are 2, and I can put them aside and start cutting the center back piece. So I folded also another piece, as you see already. So this time around it is folded because I want to include that zipper allowance. And this is the front. I'm placing it on top of this already folded piece, which is going to be the back center piece. And as you see at the front here, there is 1 inch for the zipper. So it is at the back, center back. We have 1 inch for the zipper. If you want to use 3/4 of an inch for the zipper, consider that. If you don't want the zipper in the middle at the back, put it at the side. And guys, this is it. Simply cut out all, and this is what I have. So this is the back. And guys, if you want that back to be really nicely protruding, you can move in by 1/2 inch at the knee line and then cut it out. So now the back will also be like this. So I've pinned it, as you see, and I will be sewing by 1/2 inch, joining all the 3 sides together, and the middle here I'll separate it into 2 for the zipper allowance. This is what I have after all this sewing. So this is the back. There are 2 pieces, as you see. Putting them aside, I move to the front. This is how beautiful it looks like. The effect, the mermaid effect, is already formed, as you see at the downer part. So I'm going to shape my waistline. I'm moving down by 3/4 of an inch at the center front, only the center, and then from there I connect to the sides like that. So only the center is, is where I move down by 3/4 of an inch. You can even consider 1 inch or half an inch. Connect to the sides and then cut it out like that, just to shape the front waistline, only the front waistline. So guys, after that I just bring back my 2 back pieces and then place them right sides facing the front piece like this, and they are ready to be joined together forever. So that is it. So now for the waistband, as I told you, we need the entire waist measurement and all the allowances that we added, and then it will be on fold, but here it is not on fold, and I have about 5 inches sewing allowances inclusive, but it will be folded. So bringing back my main skirt or the skirt, this is what we have. Everything is joined together. The zipper allowance is also at the back, is also joined together, just as you see. So starting from the zipper allowance, I left about 7 inches for the zipper allowance, considering even the waistband measurement. So I'll fold in the waistband and then place it right side facing the main skirt like that, and I'll sew all around, join it to the main skirt. The excess will be cut off and the skirt will be finished. But remember the hemline. So for the hemline, I'll just double fold as usual, like this, double folding, top stitch, and the skirt will be done like this. So this is the hemline completed neatly, and this is how the beautiful skirt came about. So there are many different methods of making a 6-piece skirt, and this is just one of them. If you want the other methods, guys, I'll be sharing them at a later stage, but this is just one of those methods. So that is it. So beautiful. You can add godettes, guys, at the back there, as you saw earlier in the picture, and your skirt will be so beautiful. So if you're serious about making this skirt, you want to rock it for a party, please add lining, please add interfacing, so that it looks so firm and strong, and you know, everything will look so beautifully as we saw in the picture. So that is the waistline, and that is it about this skirt. So it is simple. Remember, you divide all the measurements by 12 as you add the allowances, and then you get your 6-piece skirt. So that is how it looks like. And at the mannequin in my store, it looked like this. I decided to sell it. So it is beautiful. You can make yours anytime, anywhere. You can even make it as a dress. So guys, I think I will be seeing you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to Yvonne Winifred UG. Share this video, comment, like, do all the beautiful things, and thank you always for your support. I'll be seeing you soon.